Go.
Welcome to Blood, Sweat and Pears, the proper village vodcast that gives you a whistle-stop tour in a week of all things cricket in Worcestershire. We're in association with our good friends, the Lamb and Flag pub in Worcester. I'm Jim Dale, and I'm with my good friend Sam Rhymes. Sam, how are you, sir?
I am delighted to be back, mate. How are you?
Hey, you meant that as well.
I did mean that, yeah. I did.
If you're happy about it, I'm happy about it. We are back, it's our second week, so if you missed us first time round, this is what you can expect. We'll get through results, tables, in all things relating to Worcestershire, Birmingham Premier League. We're going to do Worcestershire County League as well. There's a lot to get through. We've got a new feature as well, Any Other Business. So Griffo's been on. Griffo's been on. We'll get to you in a little bit, Tim Griffiths, and thanks for getting in touch. But we also do is we have a guest who plays club cricket in Worcestershire. I'm delighted to say that we've got Liam Phelan from Redditch Cricket Club with us. Liam, hello.
How you doing? You all right? You good?
Yeah, we're very well. Very glad to have you.
Good.
Firstly, let's figure out who you are, but we've also got something that we need to discuss from last week.
Okay.
We'll get to that, but so let's get to it. What do you do? What's your team role?
I am junior club chairman at Redditch Cricket Club. I'm also acting chairman at the moment, which is a big ask, should I say, because nobody else wants to do it. It's just me. But no, it's I'll say I played there for 28 years and taken the club to the next level.
Important question. Where's your blazer and tie, sir?
Unfortunately, it's at home. My wife hasn't washed it today.
Throw her under the bus. Shots fired early.
Sorry, Kay.
Okay, so a non-playing role this season?
At the moment, yes, but I will be playing in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, so what team are we saying?
Threes, Popper's Armour. Yeah, taking them to the top.
Okay, well, we asked this of Spud last week, so we'll ask you the same. Best cricketing moment in a club perspective?
I'd have to say 169 against Rushwick 10 years ago. That's probably my highlight of my career. It's my email address, Philo169. It's everything. Yeah. It's everything.
Good.
Like every proper club, exactly, he's dying out on former glories, dude.
That's it. I'll keep it forever.
Now, I feel bad about doing it, but I'm going to. I'm contractually obliged.
Of course.
How did you go the week after?
First ball duck away at Stourport.
Was it?
Yeah.
How humbling is cricket?
I know,
horrible,
right?
Isn't it? It's horrible.
A week is a long time in club cricket.
On a high for a week and then crying for a week.
Straight into it.
Sporting hero, cricketing hero.
I'd have to say Shane Warne. I said it earlier. There aren't many players like him on the field and off the field. We don't see that.
True.
We don't see that drinking or that that naughtiness that happens anymore. They seem to, like the Warwickshire lads and the Worcestershire lads, I think they've just all gone home, haven't they? They used to stay for a drink and stuff and everyone.
It's the world of nutrition and body management. I know it's almost like it's professional these days, but I know what you mean. You do feel like there's those romantic characters from I'd say yesteryear, like the 90s. It's not that long.
You are starting to show your age a little bit.
I come to be middle-aged and owning it, dude. I'm okay with it.
Need to get the hanky out.
I was going to say it for later.
Right, so here's a thing from last week we need to discuss, because Sam and I came across a name and it was impressive.
It was very impressive.
You know what we're going to say.
I know what you're going to say.
Marlon Lockanath, what's his story? 220 he got last time out and a fiver.
Yeah.
We were ringing the ringer bell like you wouldn't believe. Why is he in the seconds and not the first?
I know.
Chairman.
He went to a wedding this weekend with his brother. Good lad, played at the cricket club for over 20 years. Him and his brother. I think his brother was probably crying that weekend because his brother's high score was 142.
Oh, really?
And he overtook him.
He flew past him.
He flew past him. I don't know why they haven't put it up, because we have got some footage of him
really
getting to 200 and stuff like that. So I'll have to get that sent over to you and everything. But
yeah, unreal. So he wasn't playing this week.
Typical club cricket.
Is he going to be in the first next week?
Gailey, you've got to get him in the first team. Surely he deserves to go in the first team. 220, but Adam Gailey, I don't think so. He'll probably stick to his guns, should I say.
Oh, really?
Go with the team. He probably just lost out to us.
We've advocated as best we can, and we've gone deep early, and I like that.
Yeah.
So,
I have a really quick question about this as well, because not many people get to a double 100. When you get to a ton, helmet comes off, bat goes up as well. Yeah. Did he do anything? Was he modest? Was he humble with it? Was he big?
Do you know what I loved about it? It was proper old school cricket. He had his cap on.
Oh, nice.
Took his cap off, lifted his bat up. Yeah,
lovely. Yeah,
it did look the.
He looked
the bee's knees, to be fair, when he did it. So
we shouldn't have rung that ring a bell, should we? We're a bit mistaken there, weren't we?
Well, look, we'll see. If he gets another double 100 next week,
Oh,
there'll be
yeah,
problems.
right, yeah.
I'm calling it now, Chairman. We'll be phoning you up. Right, okay. So, as promised at the top of the show, we do start with the pros and work our way down. We are recording this at a secret location at the Visit Worcestershire New Road Stadium. The Warwickshire game's just finished.
Yep.
Not a great performance, but a good outcome in the end.
Yeah.
Rain saved the day.
I think, in the words of the head coach just a minute ago, they got away with one slightly. A pretty testing few days of proper Division 1 cricket. I think it's fair to say that seam attack from Warwickshire is something else. You know, like 4-pronged, keeps coming at you on a wicket that offered enough to keep them all interested. Good first inning score. Set the sort of tone for the game. Sam Hain, 176 across 2 innings, out once, looked difficult to get past.
Every format, in every context, he's a player, isn't he?
It's quality. We were having this chat in the press room.
How's he not played for England? I don't get it. I really don't. He's got to be knocking on the door.
There's a few in that bracket, isn't there? I put him with the Sam North East. It's been there for years. And there's a couple around the county circuit.
We can wax lyrical about Sam Hain, but I feel like he's not a face.
No, that's very true.
You're right. I don't hate on Zach Crawley, but he averages 31 in tests and 30 in first-class cricket, and he's a test cricketer.
You're right.
Sam Hain, it doesn't matter what context you put him in or what format. Yeah. He looks like he's playing a different game. He was phenomenal, and you did mention that Warwickshire bowling lineup. When you think about overcast conditions, ball nibbling around a bit.
Yeah.
Wokes and Rushworth, is there a better combination in that setting?
I don't think so. But in fairness to the Worcestershire lads, to come in on a really rain-affected day, day 4, going to day 4 is one thing on its own, with the conditions as they were, etc., etc. Matthew Waite did really well. Ethan Brooks batted really nicely again, like a really well-made 34. Waite was really patient and hung in there for long enough to get the side a result, and they walked away with 11 points, which could have been a lot less had those 2 wickets gone down. So a very good result out of a pretty negative.
We'll take a draw all day long. As we mentioned last week, Women's Rapids, little bit of a hiatus for them. They'll be back in a week or so's time. But we do have an update from the club, don't we? Pertaining to the T20 Blast, which is just round the corner. And you've been speaking to everyone's second favourite Troman's brother.
I did have a little catch up with the second favourite Troman. During the week, I had a little catch up with the commercial director, the man who works behind the scenes here, to have a little look forward to what you could look forward to for the start of the T20 Blast at Visit Worcestershire New Road this Sunday.
The Worcestershire New Road. What sort of things can we look forward to? How are preparations going out of the Blast?
Well, first of all, it seems to come around quicker than ever each year. But always, again, I think, to go back to the terms of great experiences, we've looked at a lot over the winter. First thing, I think probably the biggest bit of news to some is we've dropped the beer prices. Really? £100 pint.
What a selling point.
So we've got lager and cider on, other stuff all over £1 a pint cheaper. The earlier you get in the ground, the cheaper it is, of course.
Yeah.
The other thing I think we're really excited about for everyone is the food options we've got available. So on top of the famous kind of cow burgers that we've had the last few years and sea kebabs, we've actually brought in Worcester famous ounce as well, Worcester famous steakhouse.
Yeah.
And we've got Paisley Flour providing some pizzas as well. So there's plenty to be excited about.
Yeah.
We've also got Hudson Cook's fish and chips in the picnic area, which is just kind of behind us.
Yeah.
Other thing is, with great beer prices, great food, what we were worried about was people worried about missing the cricket.
Yeah.
So we're going to put a big screen into the fan area, into the picnic area as well, just so people don't miss any of the action.
Brilliant. So there's obviously a lot of work that goes into organising stuff like this. Just give us a bit of insight as to maybe how the winter's shaped up, how much preparation's gone into delivering something like this to make that fan experience that much better.
Well, I think me and Ash have talked about it a lot. The great experiences that really need to be the heart of everything we do.
Yeah.
We look at it really quite data-led. We sent surveys out after every T20 game last year, as well as looking at revenues around the ground and footfall in really kind of minute detail to see what's working for people. So we've changed that this year. The other thing is, after the success of the beer terrace last year, we sold out on all the games. We kind of recognised the need for more premium seating and ticketing options.
Yeah.
Hence, we have installed the water bar and cafe last year as well.
Yeah.
So that again is a different offering to anywhere else in the ground in terms of premium ticketing or anything else. And again, we're trying to create multiple experiences in the space here at Visit Worcestershire New Road.
Yeah.
So there's something to suit everyone.
Yeah.
So on top of that, premium wise, which this will be available to general admission, is the Tiglu as well.
Of course, yeah.
So we introduced the champagne and Pims bar over in the over in the seafood village as well.
Yeah.
Serving champagne and pins, which we've been really brilliantly helped with that. We're by we're a principal partner at TiVo.
Yes.
Helping us install the igloo.
Fantastic.
Popularly phrased, new igloo over there as well.
So loads to look forward to. And you touched upon there one of the areas, the Water Bar and Cafe, that's new to the area. Can you tell us a little bit more about maybe some of the unique perks about being up there if you were to take advantage of the T20 offerings?
So we wanted to create a space which was again slightly different to the beer terrace, slightly different to the boxes. For me, I wanted to really, the most important thing for that was to create a feeling where you were as close to the action, as close to the pitch as possible.
Yeah.
And I think we've done that. I think it's one of my favourite areas in the ground now.
Yeah.
You're right on the boundary fence. There's an upstairs seating terrace, and it's just a really relaxed, nice, kind of relaxed, fresh vibe in there.
Yeah. And for all this sort of consumer information, where can people find out more about this? Where is it accessible to them?
Visit the website, our shiny new website, which will be released over the winter.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything's available on the website.
So lots to look forward to for any of you thinking of coming to the ground on Sunday for the start of the Blast here at Visit Worcestershire Road. It's on to all things Birmingham League cricket now, however, and we start at the very top, the Prem Division. Prem Div 1 to be precise, and it was Hales Owen who overcame Barnard's Green in a pretty comfortable 6-wicket win, knocking off 211 in just 30 overs. Barnt Green, they flexed their muscles in a pretty commanding 197-run win over Wolverhampton. Two of the Worcestershire lads actually were involved, Ed Pollock and Henry Cullen, both registering 50s at the top of the order. Pretty encouraging signs there. Hinley, they fell down by 79 runs as their pursuit of 276 against Nolan Dorridge tailed off somewhat, and it was Ombersley who had Sinel Garunaratne, I hope I've got that right,
Nailed it.
to thank for his pretty faultless 113 red inker to lead his side to a pretty comfortable 5-wicket win over Shrewsbury. In Div 2, from the Worcestershire side, Stourbridge, they scraped a narrow 1-wicket win over Old Hill. They continued their pretty fine form at the top of the table, and they had Dominic O'Reilly to thank. He weaved some very impressive figures of 4 for 53 during the first innings, before Dan Whale and Nick Berent came together for the crucial 10th wicket stand that got them over the line in the end. And at the bottom end of the table, Kiddies' woes continued as their modest total of 108 was chalked off in just 23 overs by Tamworth. And that is your report from the Birmingham League. Jim, I think you're going to pick up from there, aren't you?
Sure am, mate. Well, the first things first, actually. Cricket, it's an interesting sport, isn't it? Because we're talking about club cricket and Ed Pollock and Henry Cullen, professional cricketers playing in the club game.
Yeah.
You don't really see that. Professionals and amateurs mixing together.
No.
So have you played against pros?
Yeah, I've played a couple. Ian Butler, I think he was playing at Harborne a couple of, I want to say about 15 years ago now he was.
Yeah.
Mark Vermeulen, he was at Ford Houses.
Wow, right.
Yeah, I think that's what's good. That's what's good about cricket. You can play Saturday cricket, and I have played against Ed Pollock, who played for Barnt Green on a Sunday. And that's where cricket is a good sport, because you can play against the international player. You can be an average player, like probably myself, and then you can turn up next week and play against the New Zealand international and get him out caught. Well, my brother bowled the ball and I caught him out. So
really?
There's a Phelan wicket for you. That's there you go. Just got to get that one in there as well too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's what's good about cricket. So it's good to play against international players. Yeah. It really is.
Well, there we are. I told you we covered everything. Right, into the Worcestershire County League. We'll start with the Prem Division, and as always, we'll start with our guests team. So, Redditch versus Aswood Bank, a local rivalry. And
yes.
Spencer White, Aswood Bank's overseas player, he's in the runs again. 71 he got this time to go with his 86 last time out. And James Pyatt also hit a half century, and they posted 233 in their 50 overs. Ayman Jaffa, again, pick of the bowlers for Redditch, 3 for 36 off 10. He got a shout out last week. So
he's bowling really well. Yeah.
So what does he bowl first and foremost? Because he comes on like third change or something daft.
Spinning bowls. He's he's a good lad. Just joined us this season. He's fitted into the club well. Like I said, he's taken some wickets, which is good to see. It's just unfortunate we're not following up with the batting really. But no, it's a couple of new players that have added to our team this year. We don't have an overseas, which we normally have. We've had one since I've played at the club. This is the first year we've never had one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been so difficult to get an overseas.
And you're not playing. So
and I'm not playing exactly. So at the moment, so
yeah.
so it's a bit hard at the moment to.
Well, you mentioned the batting there, and they went from 215 for 5 to 221 for 8. Ended up 13 runs shy of their victory target. I think you were there, weren't you?
Yeah,
to see it?
I watched the game.
So what happened there? Was it just good death bowling?
They bowled well. Adam was batting well with a deal, and then Harris coming at the end looked like he was potentially going to win it. But yeah, some good bowling by Aswood Bank towards the end. So I want to say, even though the figures doesn't seem right, Alan White bowled really well at the end. I think he is, especially because they lost.
He only took 1 wicket.
Yeah, but they lost Gareth Williams early, and that was a big loss for him. That is, to be fair, he's pulled up with another injury, as he said after the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so,
James Boycott finishes over for him, and that's another familial connection there at Aswood.
Yeah. So they're a good side. We probably should have won though, if truth be told. Big derby. Always don't want to lose against Aswood Bank.
Yeah.
Spud probably told you the same last week. The rivalry's there. It's been there for 25 years. So yeah, it's not an easy one to take. But hopefully we got to put it right the next time we play them.
Have you still got to play the reverse fixture?
Yeah.
So we've got a chance.
Yeah, we've got a chance. Yeah.
Well, fine margins, isn't it?
Exactly.
And what we're seeing quite early on, gang, is that if you are a guest on this show, your side will lose that weekend. That seems to be a thing. So the curse of the Blood, Sweat Affairs, it's begun. It has begun. Right, elsewhere, Bromsgrove's first continued their unbeaten start to the season. They inserted Pershaw first and restricted them to 215 for 9. James Abel and Adnan Waheed scoring half centuries. Ryan Pedley took a 4 for Bromsgrove. The league leaders knocked off the runs with 3 wickets to spare. Liam Riding's top scoring with 83. Now, Starport first are the other divisional side that have a 100% record. Now, they hammered Lye. It feels like it's going to be a long season for Lye.
Yeah.
They beat them by 174 runs. Skipper Charlie Riley made 69, and Ryan Derrick, a quick fire, 112. Quicker than a runner ball to set a target of 283. Only 3 live players made it into double figures in a total of 109. Siddharth Ajua and Nikhil Jose both taking 3-fers. Jack Taylor made 91 as Old Elizabethan set Ombersley seconds 226 to win. Yusuf Khalil taking a 4 for the visitors. The runs were knocked off with 7 wickets and 18 overs to spare. Joel Cox again in the runs with 71, and that man Yusuf Khalil top scoring with 82. So good with bat and ball, well played. Rain affected game. Pedmore chased down a revised total of 187, just 3 down against Worcester Nomads. Wazim Ashik making 54 in the run chase. Nomads posted a respectable 240 with the bat. Dave White top scored with 71. Ashik took 4 with the ball and another great all-round performance. It's another defeat for Nomads, but they're competitive in games. We'll get to the tables in a bit. One more game to get through before we do that, though. So Worcester first kept the pressure on the top 2 by beating Barnt Green seconds by 11 runs. Goodman and Ahmed both scored half centuries and shared a stand of 123 in a total of 299 for 9. Barnt Green's openers put on 190 for the first wicket. Roll and Higgins were both out in the 80s, but the chase fell away. Deep Rose taking 3 wickets as they finished on 288 for 8. So 12 runs shy of a victory total after being 190 for none.
That's cricket. You'd be pretty gutted with that, wouldn't you? They've done everything well. The top 2 there.
You know, find me a perfect start. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So we are. Openers doing their bit. Middle order, not quite turning up, but it's the way it goes. It's tight at the top, gang. Let's have a little look at the Premier Division table. As I mentioned, Bromsgrove still undefeated, as are Starport on 7 firsts. Both have 120 points to their name, 6 wins from 6, and that Worcester first 11 on 5 wins and 115 points keeping pace, and then the gaps are starting to show to Pershaw, Ombersley and Aswood Bank. At the other end of the table, Worcester Nomads still without a win, 33 points, but only 3 points behind Lye, who have recorded a victory. And that's because Nomads, they stay in games, they just can't quite get over the line at the moment. But they're the 2 sides at the bottom of the table, and Liam, your lot 1 place above them on 47. Old Elizabethans also have 1 win so far this campaign.
It's all happening, isn't it?
It is.
It's not even early season anymore.
Well, no, it's win-lose goes to win-lose draw, I think, this weekend. So it'll be interesting now to see. There'll be some changes, definitely.
Hotting up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Excellent. Division 1?
That surely should follow, right?
Yeah. Correct. Well, we'll go start at Hagley as their first team overcame Barnard Green seconds in a pretty nail-biting 1-wicket victory with the number 11 Neil Hurst. Big shout out to Neil, saving the day with a 26 ball 29 to steer his team home. Batted Neil.
Injected into my veins. Number 11 hero. That's a good knock as well, isn't it?
Man,
it's my favourite ground as well, Hagley.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it's one of the nicest grounds in the county, I think.
What makes it nice?
It's just a lovely setting. It
location,
really is. Yeah, location,
yeah.
Everything. It's probably arguably the best, I think, in the county.
Clubhouse, tees.
Lovely nice little clubhouse. Yeah. Tees doesn't happen anymore.
No,
that's
true. I keep
actually that's what you should say. You need to make a petition. Bring back tees.
Bring back tea.
See, I didn't know this. Post-COVID, played my first game in absolutely ages. Didn't really pay attention to it. Forgot there was no tea.
Had to go and get
a
meal
deal would not last a day.
Exactly.
What I have learnt as well is that there should be like the Blood, Sweat and Pears tourist board. We'll get you the chairman of that.
Yeah,
Great selling. I love this.
I'm in. A lot on your plate. Over to Netherton. Netherton, as their first team, came out on top in a pretty low-scoring encounter as they won by 3 wickets over our old mates Berghill, Tillington, and Weebly. Ashish, that guy is so good they named him twice. He was a standout with a 3 for and 33 runs with the bat as he helped his team knock off 85.
All the threes.
All the threes, mate. Great. Well played.
Was it 3 for 33 as well?
3 for 33 runs, yeah, well bowled. Hales Owen seconds, they wrapped up all 20 points as they overcame Cornwell by 4 wickets. Nick Payne started with the bat, with a frugal spell of 4 for 29 before he put his feet up and enjoyed his sides.
Just to let you know, it's Colwell.
Colwell.
They
Yeah.
probably
went like that.
Colwell, sorry, thank you.
Another lovely ground as well.
Rain affected things at Himley. Our old mate Duckworth Lewis popped his face in as Bartis Tree and Lugwardine batted first and notched up 256 for 9 in their allotted 50 overs, with opener Saminda Fernando turning up. Well batted, Saminda. Before the heavens opened and adjusted, Himley seconds required total to 217 from 37 overs, which in the end proved a few too many as they fell 37 runs shy. Droitwich Spa overcame Bromyard by 5 wickets as they chased down 143 with pretty minimal issues. Spa had middle order batter. Now, again, bear with me. Xavier Ariam Turiapa to thank as his blistering 64 of 38 did the bulk of the work. Well batted Zav. Game of the day though saw league leaders Bewdley edge Brockhampton first by just 3 runs in a proper all-timer. Bewdley scored a competitive 182 in their first innings before Brockhampton fell just short as the 9th wicket fell with them requiring 10 to win, but they could only score 7. They fell just short. That is grassroots cricket at its finest, isn't it?
Top of the table clash, isn't it? Yeah. Bewdley, Brockhampton.
Yeah. It's good to see Bewdley at the top and back on the way up, to be fair, after they'd struggled a few years ago. And then went down, and then it's good to see him back at the top of Division 1, hopefully back in the Prem.
I mean, they're the kind of games as well, like it sounds great for us, 3-run sort of like contest, but like you want to come out on the right side of it as well. Like they're the good ones to win, aren't they? Bad ones to lose, but good ones to win as well. Yeah,
well, look, you do it for the drama, right? 100%. They did like a bit of individual glory is lovely, but the drama of winning with your mates, that camaraderie and that sense of community, that's what this is, isn't it?
Yeah, there'll be good beers after that, I would have thought as well. I'd hope so anyway.
Well, a cracking game at the top of the table, so let's see what that means for the table. So Bewdley remain top, 6 wins from 6, 120 points. Brockhampton now comfortably in second place. They are 93 points, played 6-1-4. It gets tight thereafter. Droitwich Spa have won 4 with 91 points, and Hales Owen won 4, 87 points. At the other end of things, Bromyard, 26 points, still without a win, and Himley, 2 wins, 54. Berghill, Tillington and Weebly, 55 with 2 wins, 56 points for Netherton. After that winter day and 2 wins for them as well. And
you didn't say it was Weebly.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't, because I'm a grown adult human man. But Sam, you do you, and that's okay.
I like it. It's staying.
I'm gonna have to start saying it as well now.
We're gonna get it going.
That's it. Everyone that plays there now. That's what's just going to happen, isn't it? Right, into Div 2. And it was top versus bottom. Netherton seconds hosted Old Swinford first. Old Swinford were bowled out for 165. Spencer Mann made 59 in the process. Asif Iqbal and Hasban Munir took 3-fers. Netherton 2s were then made to work for it, eventually reaching their target in the 42nd over. Iqbal shone with the bat 2, scoring 78. Tom Blunt, James's brother, he took 4 of the 6 wickets to fall. Breedon first set Aswood Bank seconds, 281 to win, in large part thanks to a Gary Weeks century. Despite a Matty Johnson 50, Aswood Bank fell well short. 3 wickets apiece for Martin Hill and Kevin Hall saw the hosts bowled out for 238. Oh, right. Bell Broughton first beat Chattersley Corbett first by 57 runs. Stu Hawke made 98 not out.
How many?
98 not out,
Gutted.
batting first.
Were they bowled out or?
No. They
He was
made
just
262.
left stranded.
No, he wasn't left stranded. I think there were 5 down in the end. 98 not out. How does that make you feel, Sam?
Well, the same as last week. Like, you help your mate out a little bit. Poor bloke's.
I don't know. He was there long enough. You know, turn a couple of those ones into 2s.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah, it's a tough gig. Stu Hawke, 98's as good as a ton, right?
Unlucky.
Not on
Hawke,
the honours
mate.
board. Anyway, Chattersley Corbett made 205 in reply. 6 bowlers sharing the wickets. Bromsgrove second set Coombe Wood first, a total of 214 to win. Mark Bilborough made a 50 for Bromsgrove. Joey Bilborough didn't. Oh, family battles there. Chris Mole tried to dig his side out of a hole by taking 3 for Coombs Wood. Coombs Wood wickets, thank you very much.
That's very good.
The nod of approval from the chair, I'm having that. So yes, Chris Mole took 3 Coombs Wood wickets, but to no avail. The Wood won by 5 wickets. Kiddie seconds won a close one with Alvechurch and Hopwood first. They chased down the visitor score of 170 with 2 wickets to spare in the 46th over. Ruben Towns, Gomez Vincent and Mark Ruben took 3-fers for their respective sides. And Lie seconds went the same way as Lie firsts, I'm afraid, gang. Beaten heavily on Saturday, the margin 101 runs against Rushwick firsts. Rushwick posted 299, Chris Mobley with a ton, and Harjaspreet Singh with a 5 for Lie, so well bowled you in what's already quite clearly a tricky old season. Jack Elston took 4 for 30 in Lie's reply of 198 all out. So we'll have a little look to see what that means for the League 2 table. As I mentioned, Netherton top v bottom, and they got the win. So it's 6 wins out of 6 and the obligatory 120 points for them. Breedon hot on their heels, 5 wins for them, 106 points, and then Bromsgrove seconds, 4 wins, 91 points. At the other end of things, Old Swinford first, 1 win, 42 points. Chattersley Corbett just above them, 1 win, 46. And then Lie seconds, 1 win, 48 points. So tight at the top, tight at the bottom as well. But that's what we like, competitive cricket all round in Div 2.
We need a bit of drama, don't we?
Oh, live for it.
It's all over, like, grassroots cricket.
Are we talking the same level of drama as when you run out of hair gel at your house?
It's actually pomade, but
Is it?
if I ran out of pomade, then we're in trouble. Yeah, yeah. As a man who grooms himself pretty thoroughly, I'd be wearing a hat. I'd be wearing a cap if I'm being completely honest with you. Is now a good time to go on to Division 3? I think so.
Yeah, moving on.
Thank you so much. Brilliant. Old Elizabethan second 11. They cruised home against Brockhampton seconds by 92 runs. I would tell you some more, but I can't because when I made this very thorough document, the scorecard wasn't updated. So I'm going to say that cricket was the player of the match in that game.
It was the winner.
Well, they weren't, but I mean, I think they were. Cookley first showed really good composure to chase down 223 for the loss of just 4 wickets in their win over Droitwich Spartans. You don't normally get plaudits for catches, but I want to give a special mention to Joseph Goss, who took 3 catches, but he was on the losing side. I'd love to know, Joseph, where you're fielding, how good these catches were. If you fancy getting in touch, I want to hear more about it. As someone who doesn't battle ball as a fielding enthusiast myself, I'm sure we'd love to know a bit more. Runs were on the menu if you batted for Enville Staff side on Saturday. They motored their way to 308 for 6. Matthew Gomes starred with 129, hitting 24s, but not 1-6, interesting enough, mate. So if you want to just loosen up a little bit, that would be great.
Gotta go to the gym there, mate.
Come on. They ended up winning by a whopping 177 runs though. So Matt, you did put your side in good stead against Stourport on 7 seconds. Feckenham might feel they kind of fecked it slightly. Their pursuit of 260 against Marley First fell 32 runs short. Spare a thought for the key man. And again, with the nature of playing cricket being the way it is, I only know the details of an O-Ray, Feckenham's number 9 bat, who would have obviously completed the chase if he hadn't been left stranded on not out off one ball because no one else wanted to bat with you. So I do feel for you, mate. Avon they secured a 50-run victory over 5 ways old Edwardians. Tip of the slipper to Daniel Elliott for his 113 in a winning cause. And finally, Himbleton first overcame Worcester Nomads seconds with a Jay Corlett surely buying the beers as he got out in the nervous 90s, 10 short of a well-deserved ton in his team's 72-run win. Another guy not making it to 100. 98 not out. We've got 90 out here. There's a trend, isn't it?
It's a cruel game.
It's
a cruel game. It's a lot. It's about mentality, isn't it?
Have you ever been out in the 90s?
Oh, I have been out in the 90s. Yeah, 96, yeah.
96?
Yeah.
One shot away?
Yeah, against Shrewsbury.
Oh,
yeah,
how were you out?
Bold.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mr. Straight.
Was it an expansive drive? Were you going glamorous?
I was trying to go over the top, make it. Yeah.
Just get it done.
Just get it done. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But,
Do it in singles.
No.
Do it singles. Get it done. Right. Well, let's have a look to see what that means for the Division 3 table. Enville, top of the league. Good beer, Enville Ale. That's another matter altogether.
That's all right. Yeah. So.
Sure is. Knocked about there a little bit in my life, but there we are. So they're top of the table. I feel like that's a therapy session that this show doesn't need.
That'll be after we finish recording.
Yeah, I think so. Top of the table, 6 wins from 6, 120 points. Old Elizabethan seconds up into second place. 5 wins, 103 points. Then a drop off to a clutch of teams, all with 4 wins. Himbleton, Cookley, Stourport on 7, and Brockhampton as well. At the other end of things, Droitwich Spa still yet to record a win, but still in range. 30 points to their name thanks to the bonus points system. Feckenham have 1 win, as do Worcester Nomads, 43 and 45 points respectively there. Right, moving on.
Taking breath.
Yeah, I know, right?
Go again.
You know when we say like this is a whistle-stop tour? I think we might need some sort of oxygen mask sometime soon into Division 4. Some games very close, some games not so close, and some games, well, let's start with, I think, game of the day. You know where, again,
get in.
Liam knows where we're going with this. West Malvern versus Redditch seconds. West Malvern inserted the visitors, dismissing them for 229. Hassan Akram made 51. Tom Priest and Sam Waller took 3-fers. In reply, opener Will Lloyd made 69, with Mohammed Adam and Aman Malik taking 3-fers. Did they cancel each other out then? You bet they did. West Malvern skipper Tom Priest was bowled with 3 balls to go by Tayyib Mohammed, which meant the match was tied. So is that a cracking game or a waste of a day?
Well, I have to blame Marlon for there, because if he was there and hadn't gone to a wedding, he would have won it on his own. Firstly, there. So
9 left.
Yeah.
This is a good point.
But it's good to see Bubbly. Fair play to him. Got the wicket at the end.
That is wicked.
Yeah. After the 2 years that our seconds have had, it's nice to see him getting results, because I think we've only won 2 in the past 2 years. We've literally gone from Division 2, Division 3, and now we're in Division 4. So it's good to see him getting results. That's what say.
I mean, good on him. And I mean, that is proper high drama, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Match tied. So
I noticed. Sorry to cut you off, Jim. They're also both all out as well. They're 2 balls apart in their innings as well.
Couldn't get a cigarette paper in between them.
That's impressive. I love that sort of stuff. That's great.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. So Marlon was at a wedding. So have you got selfish players that have a life outside cricket? Shame them on this show. It's cricket or nothing.
Yeah.
Right, Hagley seconds, number 9, George Hands, hit a 6. His only scoring shot, by the way, to complete a 2-wicket victory for his side against Claverley. Last week's Centurion, James Trimham, got a first ball duck. 100 last week, first baller this week.
We've all been there, mate. We've all been there.
I'm yet to score a century. I don't know what it's like. First ball duck, very much au fait with. So James Trinham, we might hear from you a little bit later on. A week is a long time in cricket, clearly, but there we are. Claverley were bowled out. First up for 211, Alex Bateman taking 4 wickets. Arun Iqbal making 70 with the bat. Malvern first comfortably chased down Worcester second's first innings total of 137. Spokes made a 50 for Worcester, but the chase was done by committee and saw Malvern home by 7 wickets. Old Hill seconds also won by 7 wickets. They beat Old Vigornians. OVs made 178 for 9 from their 50 overs. Old Hill knocked them off with 16 overs to spare. Pershaw seconds made lighter work of their total. They chased down 206 posted by Tenbury Wells, just 2 down as Miles Beer, making 78 in the process. And we finish with top of the table Harborne first, who beat Romsley and Huntington first by 5 wickets. Malik and Mediarata passing 50 to chase down 232. Charlie Tromans in his own kit this week for R&H could only muster 19. So there we are. Keep borrowing other people's kit. Cricket is it's a superstitious sport, isn't it? So don't change stuff if it works.
I've got a friend, Warren.
It's been itching to say.
I have been itching to say. I have been itching to say this because I am going to wind up. So his dad, they both played cricket. His dad went to one game and he went to the other, and obviously they both had the wrong trousers on. So and he was about 10 at the time. So obviously he's got his dad's trousers that come up to about here, and his dad took his trousers obviously come up to his knees. So that's a great cricket story.
That is good.
Yeah, it's one of the best stories.
I mean, it's one of those where you're trying to tie the tack as tight as it will get, and it just won't do up.
Try to get a belt around it.
What's the policy in the dressing room there? Do everyone just like pass round trousers to see who can get somewhere near the closest bit, or do you just let him suffer?
Just because it's Warren, we let him suffer. Yeah. To be fair, so yeah. just go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Some people just deserve it more than others, right? Yeah. Right, well, let's see what that means for the Division 4 table. As mentioned, Harborne are top 5 wins. First division actually without 100% record, I think. So Harborne 5 wins from 6, 106 points. Then Redditch, Old Hill and Worcester seconds, all on 4 wins. And 12 points separates those 3. At the other end of the table, another win from Malvern, so they move up to 8, 59 points with 2 wins. Tenbury Wells at the bottom, 1 win, 43 points. West Malvern after that tie, 1 win, 53 points, and just above them, Romsley and Huntington, 2 wins, 59 points to their name.
On to Division 5. I keep waiting for like a cue, but it's actually just my job to
It's literally just your go-to.
So apologies. Division 5, Aswood Bank thirds. They won by 2 wickets against Coombswood, and our man Spud, he chipped in 31.
Good on you,
It's alright, got started, didn't he?
31, mate, come on. You're better than that, Spud.
Hey, come on now. Spud chipped in. That means
sorry. For a guy that talks about how long he can hit a ball as well, 31, I feel like he probably got to go in and then...
He was probably only in for an over.
Yeah, true. He's given the side to a successful chase of 226. Spuddy boy, well batted. Bucking the trend, actually, of someone coming on the show and their team winning as well.
Yeah.
Fair play. It's good. Now, if you don't like colours, just stop listening for a minute, because Cutnell Green first faced off against Bark Green thirds. I would tell you more than the fact that Cutnell Green won by 6 wickets, but is a red card for the scorer because it's not online yet. I feel a bit blue after that, to be honest with you.
That's a fine or a penalty coming their way, I'll tell you.
Yeah, there is. Performance of the day, a big shout here. Mr. H. Lamb of East North CC first. Finished with sublime figures of 6 for 27 from his 9 overs, and then he put his feet up in the pavvy and he watched his team cruise their way to a 5-wicket win over Pedmore 2s. We'll bear that in mind for later on. Harborne seconds, they secured a 60-run victory over Bewdley seconds at Harborne Notts Ground as they defended 214 pretty easily. Now, as far as tough days out go, we can all spare a thought for Bromyard seconds here, who had a pretty tough Saturday. The poor bowlers were flogged by Hales Owen thirds. They racked up 307 in 40 overs, which is pretty decent going. And reply, Skittle for 45. No scorecard available. Probably not the end of the world.
It's been burned.
You want to put that one away.
Someone kicked the route around.
Literally, I'm going to save some blushes. But I hope some team bonding took place in the watering hole after that. It's the only way.
You wouldn't mind if it was the other way around, being bowled out for 45. Then first. You go to the bar early. Yeah.
But standing in the sun, getting flogged, and then getting skilled.
We've all been there.
We've all been there. Great. Maybe, I mean, we've got to do Mr. Brightside at some point. It might go the whole team.
True.
We'll see.
Yeah, just shell them out, lads. There's a bit of trivia for you here, lads, actually, and people listening and watching. Not something you see every day. Stourbridge seconds played Harvington seconds. Now Harvington registered 147 all out in their innings as they batted first. Stourbridge blitzed the chase. Rohan Patel 100 off 76. Nobody else needed to worry about putting pads on because they won by 10 wickets, which isn't something you see all the time. Not something you see every day, so I would love to know, maybe something for someone to have a look at. There's loads of badges out there, I'm sure. When was the last time a team in Div 5 won by 10 wickets? I tried to have a look, but I had no luck, so I think it'd be nice to know.
Well, there's plenty of 8-wicket victories. The occasional night, 10 wickets is...
But as a number 3, like, you know, you could be coming in off the one ball.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Exactly,
Yeah.
But the thing is, in a low
waiting.
chase, if you're chasing like 170 or something, or like a 147 there, and then the wicket goes down at 130, you're going, I don't need this.
No.
I don't need this. Hiding to nothing. Like, get yourself a 4 not out. I'm leaving you.
Because if you're batting at like 5, 6, 7, you're probably cracking open a beer after like 100. Like,
Yeah.
you
Get in the shower.
Whereas number 3,
Yeah.
it's difficult. You've got to sit with white pads, get a bit fidgety.
Or a refreshing soft drink if that's not your
That's so
beverage
true.
of choice.
That's so true. You've done this before, haven't you?
It's not my first time.
Yeah.
Did it last week, remember?
Yeah, there's a deal.
There might not be a third.
It's been a long week, yeah. That's everything from Division 5, so... Jim, could you go through the tables, please, mate?
Wait, since you
'Cause,
asked so nicely...
That's my job, this is now your job. to do the
Okay.
tables, so thank you.
Division of Labour. It's the only way that you can succeed. Right, Division 5. Harborne seconds top things out. They have 5 wins from their 6 games, 106 points to their name. Then a host of teams with 4 wins, including Cutnall Green, Halesowen and Stourbridge, 93, 90 and 89 points respectively. At the other end of things, Barnt Green, 1 win, 50 points. And then Bewdley seconds, 2 wins, 63 points. Coombswood, 2 wins, 64 points. And Bromyard seconds, 2 wins, 68 points. So, as you kind of would expect, it's busy at both ends of the table. A lot of cricket to be played, though. So if you're in that chasing pack, there is time to turn things around.
We like Jeopardy as well, then. We like, you know, you got something to fight for. It's that time of year, though, as well, where I feel like, you know, the football season's rounding out.
Yeah, it is,
finished and stuff. People should be available. You'll see teams want to get a bit stronger.
Well, that's a good point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, you know, the multi-sportists, the
There are
football
people out
cricket
there.
crossover.
Yes, man.
Yeah,
Yes,
football,
but-
yeah.
Yeah.
Football.
So you're a footballer, Liam, right? So you're a little bit late.
I'm a little bit late, so I coach.
Is that accepted within the club? Are they like,
I'm chairman. I can just do what I want. Yeah,
do what you want.
I coach my girls' football team, so yeah.
I think that's
and,
what
every time I query him,
And now you
what are his motives? Like, well, I coach the kids.
Yeah.
I do my daughter's football.
Yeah.
you can't.
You're just a really nice guy,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Yeah.
Nothing can be said bad. No,
True.
there are a few people that would say a few things. To
I
be
was going
fair,
to say, I'm sure we can find them
yeah,
as well.
definitely.
Some stories,
I'm sure if
they can
someone
win
will
it.
log in and tell something.
Is there that sense that sometimes that some teams are just rubbish at the start of the season because 4 players then come in because they've stopped playing their Sunday league and then they're absolute monsters?
That's it.
Yeah. That will happen, for sure.
Okay, well look, if that's your club, we want to know. Are they good enough at football to get away with it? This is your show, remember, bring the stories and we'll get the names out there. Right, on to Division 6. A couple of old-fashioned thumpings this week. Old Elizabethan's thirds beat Bromsgrove thirds by 204 runs. Abdul Haq Armani with a stylish 167 not out, I should say. It's another big 100 for that side. 167 not out, that's legit. A total of 362 from 45 overs. Mukta took a forfeit for Bromsgrove. Reply of 158 all out. Good win for OEs there. Kidderminster thirds, total of 262, was surpassed in 25 overs by Berghill, Tillington and Weebly seconds. For the loss of just 2 wickets. I can't get enough of that. There'll be opposition teams saying that.
I'm making mockery of something.
Anyway, so speaking of BTW, the openers, Jasper and Rufus Dark, another familial connection, I fear, both hit centuries.
They're sexy names as well.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah, they are.
They are.
So Jasper and Rufus opening the batting, banging out a couple of hundreds. Fair play to you.
Yeah.
Oh, ringer alert. We'll see. Bell Broughton seconds beat Alverley thirds by 4 wickets. Stanley taking a 3-fer and making a 50 in that one. Himley beat Handy Castle and Upton by 6 wickets. Ross taking a 5-fer and Thomas making 65 not out. Everyone seems to have first name for surnames in Div 6, but that's okay. Leaders Colwar beat Rushton seconds by 4 runs. Rushwick finishing on 187 for 5. See how you feel about this.
Oh, no.
I'll just suss you out here, Sam. I know you're busy tip-tapping away.
No, come on.
So,
For this.
so Colwell, I'm going to just literally repeat it just to get you.
Sorry.
They beat Rushwick seconds by 4 runs. Rushwick finished on 187 for 5. Skipper James Casey was run out in the last over for 41 off 77 ball. Ewan Holland's last over went for 4 runs, defending 7.
41 off 77.
Yeah, and they lost by 4 runs.
I'd argue stop, making it look pretty and get the job done a little bit.
There they are. There's harsh words from Sam.
Turn them
Guys.
ones into twos. Yeah, there you
If
go.
you're sat in the video watching that, are you saying to your mate,
Yeah, he's
Are mitigating circumstances? Was there a torn hamstring? Who knows? But
it'd take me a
James
while
Casey,
to buy
the
him a
skipper.
drink.
that's why him hurt.
Yeah.
Get him out.
And finally, Cookhill first beat Stourbridge thirds by 35 runs. Harvey Phillips and Ollie Hills made 72 and 77 respectively for Cookhill. Mark Richardson took 4 for 19 with the ball. So let's see what that means for the Div 6 table. Colwell seconds are top, 6 wins from 6. Berghill, Tillington and Weebly. I'm not doing it. 5 wins.
You've got to do it. You've started it now.
It's our thing.
I feel like when I'm going to play him, I am actually going to
See?
yeah. I'll be there in the field.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Sorry, Virgo, but yeah.
Sorry, BTW. Second, 5 wins, 104 points. Himley third, 104 points. At the other end of things, Kidderminster thirds, no wins, 30 points. Stourbridge thirds, no wins, 31 points. And Bromsgrove thirds, just above them, 1 win, 48 points. And that's how things stand with the top 6 divisions. We'll get to Mr. Brightsider in just a moment. That's when we give away somebody's height insider if they've had a particularly difficult day, courtesy of our friends at Western Cider.
Yeah, nice.
But any other business? We mentioned earlier on, Griffo's been on.
Yeah.
Tim Griffiths from Old Swinford Thirds, Old Swinford Cricket Club. He's been on, said, love the show. Thanks very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you, mate.
And he wanted to know, why do we stop at Div 6? Well, the answer is we actually don't. We've got a feature called Any Other Business, which we couldn't do last week because no one had written in. But you have. So you've inadvertently instigated something that we already had planned anyway. And look, we know it goes into Div 7 and 8 and 9. They become regional. And if we made this show any longer, it would be almost unbearable for you. There's a lot of numbers to crunch as well, which is why we want you to get in touch with us. It's media@wcc.co.uk.
Mate, you'll get good at the
Nailed
scenes.
it.
You'll get good at the scenes.
It only took me 2 hours of broadcasting. So you give us a shout and you let us know who we need to know about, because there's so much cricket going on there. We don't care what the level is, whether it's in those divisions, if it's village, if it's pub cricket. I mean, to be honest, if it's a family-based backyard brawl, we're into it. So you let us know what we need to know about. And Griffo, you've done that. He's probably going to hate me calling him Griffo. He's probably a very serious man.
Yeah, but probably the same as Weebly. Like, it's going to stick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's happening.
Sorry.
So he's got a little bit of feedback for us. So firstly, he wants to out the third 11 captain Luke Bates. In his third game as captain, he turned up to the game and forgot his whites and had to borrow his kit from previous captains. Going to a previous skipper for kit is a bad vibe.
Master Bates, come on, have a word with yourself, yeah?
Absolute shocker.
Come on.
Ended well though. Luke got his second win in 3 games. And a couple of performances to mention. Phoebe Colgate, she'll be smiling this week. Hey.
Yes.
2 5-wicket hauls in her first 2 games of the season. Matt Wall, we don't know what team he plays for, but he made 207 not out, monster. And Tau Mahmood, check this out, 7 wickets for 9 runs.
They're bold.
That can't be beaten this weekend, surely.
That's unreal.
And the figures we've got, no. That's very, very well bowled.
So, Tim Griffiths, thanks for getting in touch. If you want to, I suppose, give a shout out to anyone at your cricket club from whichever team they play, and look, we'll share it. That's what it's about. There's only so many hours in the day, so you drop us a line. media@wccc.co.uk.
Perfect.
I'm
Nailed it.
thinking about that email. I'll see you later.
We've been talking about it all week.
Drop us a line. Anything else you want to know? Stories about your week. We'd love to hear from you.
As you haven't gone that low, a shout out to our 4th team, because they've been bowled quite. They were bowled out for 50 the week before. I think the other team got 400 plus. It was like nearly a 400 run win, and they scored over 100 this week. So well done to our 4th team.
Hey, look, it's all progress. 4th, keep going.
Exactly.
Keep going. This is a wonderful and confusing game. you know, sometimes you go through the ringer, but every now and again, those little moments of magic make it all worth it. Keep plugging away, gang. Good to have you.
Before we move on,
Yes.
can I give you one more, Mr. Brightsider?
Okay, go on.
So Bromyard, I feel as though the seconds who are bowled out for 45,
Yeah.
they deserve a little something, a little pick me up.
Okay.
And I think really we should give them a drink on us, to be honest with you. I think this week, the Bromyard lads, they deserve it.
Okay.
I think
It's hard to argue with that.
It is difficult. I feel bad. Lads, have one on us. You are this week's Mr. Brightsider. I know we were just talking about it, but I feel as though
It's a shame Richmond from Middlesex, aren't it? They were 2 all out, weren't they? Chasing 400,
we should talk
456 was it or something? Did you see that?
That's a fair point. We're not going to pay the postage for it. I'm going to find it.
They conceded 400.
North London Cricket Club 426 for 6 off 45 overs. Richmond CC 4th 11, 2 all out in 5.4 overs.
And there was a wide.
They weren't there for a wide.
One was a wide.
One was a single off a drop.
Shouldn't really laugh.
Was
But
that single?
Yeah, apparently so.
They were not there for a good time or a long time.
No.
Richmond 4th 11. You need it more than anybody. But I'm going to. I'm going to go with Handsome Sam here. So the winner of Mr. Brightside away, it's Mrs. Brightside too. Any player you want, any division this goes for, any context, we will consider you. But you're going to give it to...
I think we should give it to Bromyard, lads. We'll get in touch or vice versa, and we'll give you that heightened cider. I think you need the pick.
That's one player, by the way. You're getting a case. We're not doing all of you.
No
That'll
way.
bankrupt the show after the first 2 weeks.
I'm sure their first team captain's quite tall as well. You
Right,
heard that too?
really?
Yeah.
Don't-
Ed, yeah.
We have to go and measure up to 2 metre Peter.
yeah.
I think we should give one more honourable mention.
Go on.
To Bryony Gilgrass, who played for the Women's Rapids under-18s over the weekend. Now, she slammed 230 off 133.
What about it?
I haven't seen the strike rate, but I reckon it's around 172.93, roughly. I haven't seen it, so that's pretty impressive, I think.
That's amazing, because I was going to guess around 180.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So, yeah, Bryony, batted.
Nailed
Keep it
that.
up. I think that's pretty impressive.
Super talent.
Yeah.
Your waist, it should be in the
We got
count.
She should get a few. Yeah, impressive. But
And
loads
with
of good stuff. And like Jim says, keep them coming in. It's
Women's
good for
T20
interaction.
blast, not far away. Men's T20 blast, and of course it's time for contractual obligations. This is the bit where, well, we just try and sell you stuff. And as we mentioned, the blast starts on Sunday. So head to Worcestershire County Cricket Club website. There's a range of hospitality packages and ticketing options available throughout the competition. So go and check it out. That, I think, is that. I think we've just got enough time to say thank you to Liam Phelan
No,
for taking
thank
the
you.
time and to present you with your cap.
Oh,
Of course,
perfect.
this wonderful vodcast is in association with our good friends the Lamb and Flag, and they look after us well. And they've given us an array of these beautiful pieces of headgear, each numbered for our guest, number 2 on the squad list. So thank you very much.
No, thank you very much.
for being
Really
part of
appreciate it.
God
Thank
bless
you. Hopefully,
Pleasure.
hopefully this will be Antiques Roadshow in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Sell it number 2.
Well, it fits better than
Yeah,
Spuds,
yeah.
doesn't it?
I'll try and get more.
Again,
It
Sartor
fits better than Spuds as well, to be fair, don't it?
It does. But
Yeah.
look, the rivalry between Redditch and Aswood Bank
I can put-
continues, but
I
now
can put a hat on better
mainly
than you.
through the means of sartorial elegance. Anyway, we'll call it a close. Rather like here at New Road, it's time to go home and get something to eat. It's been a long old day,
Yes,
but we're
yeah.
really, really glad to have you around. From myself and from Sam, God bless you, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
So there, guys.